Alright guys, hey YouTube, you guys are about to witness the great history of the next biggest brand ever, and that is Way of Life Esports. But today, nonetheless, we have the best players heading into Worlds 2017. Yes, Damwon players will actually count for this as well, as this is obviously something that we can already clearly see from their play-in stage that they are head and shoulders above their competition, and going into the 2019 World Championship group stage, they're actually going to be very, very solid as well. Where they land up in whatever group they do get into that doesn't have a Korean seed obviously depends on where they finish out of play-in stage, which is most likely going to be in first place, and then 3-0 whatever team that actually gets into their actual best-of-5 match. With that being said, hello Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike, I'm the Nightwing, coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. So, as a tradition for a lot of people, they actually do top 20 players for the World Championship. What I'm going to do differently today is basically go over all of the teams from every respective region that I can actually remember: NA, EU, LCK, and China, and I'll mention a few LMS players that I've actually seen for a while, and I think they're actually really good. Those players, or I think it's just one player, I'm not too sure, but if I forget him, I'm really, really sorry, but he's been actually so good for a while, and I think that it might be his time to shine at the World Championship in general. So, normally these go with people ranking like the best players from every position for mostly separate positions, and I was initially going to do that, but then I realized why not just put it all together in one video. And it's not a top 20 players obviously ranking, it's just the best players at the 2019 World Championship, obviously ranging from NA, EU, LCK, and the well, what's the last region? LPL. Yes, the LPL. Also VCIS could be considered a major region. They are. You have Levi, I think, is actually going to be really good with the Gigabyte Marines. I feel like that Levi is going to actually show up in a huge way. We saw that when he was on Gigabyte Marines a long time ago, back in 2017, he was absolutely incredible. He had a really bad spurt where he just fell off the face of the map when he went to 100 Thieves Academy. I think that was the worst roster move ever in existence. I think that none of it actually paid off or anything. Later on he went to JDG. That didn't matter, and I think his rightful place is in the VCIS. But before that, you have to kind of understand he went to the NA because the VCIS was obviously not solidified yet as a region. They probably didn't even have like what any other region has in terms of actually having a broadcasting team. So yeah, he's back at Gigabyte Marines, and I feel like a lot of people are going to sleep on him based off of his 100 Thieves and JDG performances back in 2018. But I do feel like Levi, having not seen him, I'm just taking a shot in the dark here, I feel like he's actually going to be very, very good. And we've seen him at the highest highs in carrying teams, obviously with the Gigabyte Marines, and he's back on Gigabyte Marines, and I have the utmost doubt that he will carry your bad thoughts out of your mind. Yes, I think that Levi will be actually be very good. We've seen him do incredible pathing. He's very smart about the game from what we've actually seen, and he's got this thing about him where he knows how to effectively snowball a game. And Gigabyte Marines obviously are most likely not going to be that cheese team most people remember back from 2017, but I feel like he's going to be really good. And one player on the LMS I will shout out is Fofo. Fofo was incredible from the last thing I saw for the LMS. They put it on the LOL esports page. I think they had it up for a few days where you could watch the LMS finals where JT were in it. Fofo was incredible. He lanes well. He's an effective roamer when it needs to be. He is a carry mid laner, and I feel he's going to be one of the deciding factors as to reason why J-Team could possibly get out of their group. But it depends on who lands in the group in terms of either Splice or in terms of Damwon, based off how the group is going to go. So yeah, I wanted to get those two teams out of the way. AHQ doesn't have On, Ziv, or Mountain or Westdoor anymore, so I don't really know who I can rank out of AHQ, but They usually have some sleeper players every now and again. So if they actually are pretty good, we'll have to see it out of their group. They're going to be in a group with TL, and they're going to be in a group with IG. So if they need to step up, they need to step up in a really, really effective way for them to actually get out of the group. Okay, so let's start with the region that we really don't get a chance to talk about. So, like I said before, this is me going over the players that I think are really good at the World Championship, that I think are the best at their positions. There could be multiple guys. It doesn't matter. This doesn't have a cap on it like those other people's lists do. I want this to be very, very open and give respect to the West, because I feel like the West is constantly disrespected on these top 20 lists because people are so biased towards Korean players or Chinese players, and then when the Western players show up, it doesn't always have to be this surprising thing. These are good players. People just don't give them credit, and then when they do well, it's like, oh my god, a Western player did well. They are really good. Just because they play worse than somebody else doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that they are not good comparatively to an opposition, but that doesn't mean they're bad players. Why do people consider Doublelift a good player for years? Obviously, we know he's really good. He's a Western player. Jensen is considered really good by a lot of Korean and Chinese mid laners. So let's give respect where respect is due. I feel like it's highly disrespectful of people to not include Western players in their list based on the criteria they lead, when they obviously know these players are really strong. And I'm not overrating any Koreans. I'm not overrating any Western players. I'm giving everybody a fair shot, and that's why this list is actually being created. Not a list. It's a conglomerate. What do they call it in the LCS this year? They called it a clump. Yes, so you have a clump of a lot of good players, actually. And we're going to start with the LPL. So from all the teams that I can remember in the LPL that are going to the World Championship, we know it's Doinbe's FunPlus Phoenix, Uzi's RNG, and Rookie's Invictus Gaming. And those players I just shouted out are going to be some of the players that I'm really going to highlight in just a moment. I'm going to run through the teams of each individual player and see where I can currently land them. On FunPlus Phoenix, the stars on the team obviously are going to be none other than Doinbe, Crisp, and Tien. Just kidding. You thought TN, you are not world class. I don't care what nobody says. You are an average Xmithy jungler who is getting carried by his mid laner. Sit down, TN. You're not you're not gonna be in my list. You could be in somebody else's garbage list. You're not gonna be in my list. You're gonna get exposed at Worlds, and I can't wait for it to happen when people overrating this guy when he's actually a decent jungler. He's literally Xmithy level, but better than Xmithy in terms of how he can carry the game. But I don't feel like he's that strong of a jungler. I just don't see it. But if I'm wrong, whatever, I'm wrong. I don't care. It's my list. I can do whatever I want. All right, so let's go with FunPlus Phoenix. Their top laner, Gimgoon, is all right. He's actually pretty good. In terms of putting him as the best player going into Worlds, not necessarily, but he is really strong. So the strongest players, obviously from FunPlus Phoenix, are going to be Doinbe, their mid laner, who is a extreme carry mid laner. He can play literally anything. His most second played champion of Summer Split was Nautilus Mid. Nautilus Mid was his second most played. That is insane. This dude is not even playing a mid laner and winning championships. Congrats to Doinbe. He can also play the Kled mid. He's got a big champion pool. He runs his team. He's an ideal shot caller. He is what High should have been. He is what High was for Cloud9, except Doinbe's mechanics are better. Obviously, he is much more. They're about the same level in knowledge, I think, at the game for High and Doinbe, except Doinbe's the better player, obviously, and that's why Doinbe is going to be the best player of FunPlus Phoenix for me. The other players that are good and really incredible going into the World Championship is LWX and Crisp. They were actually pretty bad last year when FunPlus Phoenix had no direction. Then we saw this year LWX really coming to his own. He lanes well. He CSs very well. He's a carry-oriented bot laner when you actually need him to be. He can play the safe carries. He can play the carries where you're just scaling up. Crisp actually won MVP for the LPL over somebody, I think it was... Who was the second in voting? I can't remember exactly, but Crisp won MVP for the LPL. And remember, this guy had to compete with a bunch of good players in the LPL this split around. You had Knight from top. You had everybody off RNG at one point being considered MVP level. So yeah, there was so many good players in China, and these three on FunPlus Phoenix stand out as the best to me for some of the best players going into the World Championship. Doinbe, LWX, and Crisp. Let's go to the other team, RNG. It should be no surprise that Uzi is the best player, obviously going into the World Championship for RNG, but let me highlight some other people after I talk about Uzi. Uzi has played really well all year long, actually. Their spring split wasn't a indicative performance of how well he played. I know people keep saying that he doesn't play as good as he does in the World Championship. I don't really personally agree with that. I just feel like that when you, it's hard to really say, and this is the reason why I disagree with people when they say that, is because the Chinese AD carries are really good. So yes, if he gets challenged in China, he's not going to obviously look the best because he's getting obviously challenged by better ADCs. The reason why he looks absolutely better against other ADCs because it's like he's training in a hyperbolic time chamber, and then when he goes to face other ADCs that are not in China, he can do way better against them and actually be incredible because he's already faced the better competition. I'm not saying there's not good ADCs in North America, EU, or LCK, but these Chinese AD carries, guys, are incredible, and I would highly recommend people to take the time to watch the LPL, sometimes over the LCK, because you do get to see really amazing players that a lot of people sleep on, and it's just incredible how he can lane well against these ADCs and dominate these ADCs at certain points, and that's why I'm going to give it to Uzi as one of the best players going into the World Championship. Also, their jungler Karsa has been an incredible rock for the team. He's back at his Flash level Karsa ways where people want him to come in and be that Flash Wolves Karsa, the one that carries games, the one that can be that pop-off player. He can not only pop off, but he can also play the scaling junglers as well. So that's also something I like about Karsa as well. And actually, a lot of people would actually give this next person is Xiaohu. I would actually give that to Ming. Ming has actually been super good for RNG for a very long time. I've watched this guy for a long time. He's been incredible. He wards effectively well. He passes effectively very, very well. And he's a really big point as to why RNG are actually very, very successful. So not a lot of people actually give him a lot of credit. So that's why I'm giving him a lot more credit in my own personal clump of players that I'm going to be ranking for the World Championship. But if you want to put Xiaohu in there, I'm totally cool with that. Go ahead and do that. They also have a new top laner called LEC. He's actually pretty good, but this caliber worthy where I'm talking about best players in the World Championship. Sorry, LEC, you can't make it. But if you guys don't want to put Ming in that, I understand. Put Xiaohu, it's okay. They're both actually really good in their own right and are deserving to be in this conglomerate of players, of the best players going into the World Championship. The third team is Invictus Gaming. None of them. Sorry. I'm just kidding. I actually think that Rookie is a really good player, and I'm going to put Rookie and the Shy and Jackie Love as the best players from IG going into the tournament. Yes, I know they had a really bad, summer split. I don't feel like that was the true form of we saw out of IG. It'd be crazy of me to think that Rookie, Shy, and Jackie Love are just going to completely fall off again. But it's very, very possible because players can be overhyped. They can have their little 5 minutes of fame and it can be over. We've seen the Shy consistently in the LPL outplay, lane well, CS, dominate, win games. 5 things. I think he's one of the best top laners to probably play the game, but the issue is that we have to take longevity into that as well. And I think Rookie is also really good the way he plays the game. He can carry a game with a Thanos snap. He's carrying a game. Jackie Love the same way. And I, in good conscience, know I can't put them outside of best players going into Worlds because we've seen them play. I just think that one bad split for this team shouldn't hurt how people think about these players. If you sleep on Rookie, the Shy, and Jackie Love, you lose games. So let's not do that. Let's not be disrespectful to them. They did win last World for a reason, for being that dark horse. They can just come into this tournament and be a dark horse, and nobody's going to care about them. And that's even better because there's no pressure on them. I feel like IG has performed better when there's no pressure involved, no matter what. So that's the teams from the LPL. Those are my players that I've picked out as the best players from China going into Worlds. Obviously, I'll recap it for you guys as I'm going to do with every single other region. Players, we have from FunPlus Phoenix, Doinby, LWX, and Crisp. From RNG, you have Uzi, Xiaohu, or Ming if you want to throw it in there, and Karsa. Then for IG, you have Jackie Love, Rookie, and the Shy. All right, next region from the east you have is the LCK, and it should come no other than SK Telecom T1. You guys love this team. These guys are the Chicago Bulls of League of Legends at the moment. These guys are absolutely insane, but let's talk about the best players from the LCK coming out of SK Telecom T1. Obviously, most people in their right minds would pick Faker, but I love my boy Faker. But Clid is actually one of the best players from SKT going to the tournament. People are gonna be like, "Oh my God, Nightwing, you got Clid's cock all the way down your throat?" No. If you don't think Clid is their most valuable player, you did not watch the LCK. You did not watch their games. You didn't watch them at MSI. You didn't watch them in Summer Split, and you did not watch them in any playoff run between spring and summer. Clid is incredible. He's the reason why they even get up off the ground when they even play games. Clid does all the ganking, all the warding, all the tracking, goes to every lane, plays out of his mind still, mechanically outplays people. I don't know if you can ask for anything more out of a jungler. That's just crazy. And he's a stand-up performer on SKT, where Faker's on the team. Clid is, don't even try it. Clid is the most valuable player going into Worlds and one of the best players going into Worlds. And obviously next it's going to be Faker. He's actually quietly been the best mid laner for a while here. I've watched his gameplay. I've watched it and compared it to every single other mid laner. It's not to say the other mid laners aren't playing well in their own right. He's just been playing really, really well. And you have to see that he can carry games again. He's got his dominant, Faker, unkillable Demon King shoes on again. He's actually been doing and playing at an incredible rate, and I think that right now he is able to effectively beat a lot of mid laners that are actually going to, try and beat him. And with you have Clid and Faker as one of the best duos going into the league, and they do so well together that they translated throughout their whole team. So that is Faker is my other best player going into the world. He should be on everybody's list, and if he is going to be on your list, he's most likely going to be at the number 1 pick anyway. And he was going to be my number 1 pick if I was going to rank them anyway. So spoiler, if you guys actually wanted a list, Faker was going to be my number 1 pick in general. Alright, and the third player as one of the best players going into Worlds off SK Telecom T1 is going to be Teddy. Teddy actually is not that. The reason why he would have been lower for me personally is because he doesn't lane as well as people like to make it out to be. I really do feel like he gets told what to do by the supports like Mata and Effort. But that doesn't mean he doesn't play the team fights very well. He can carry games from a team fight if he has the right champion, and that's not something a lot of AD carries can do. He'll get in your face, land all skill shots, flash forward. I love and respect an AD carry like that. He CSs very well. He can dominate lane if it needs to be, but he can be so well and consistent in the lane that his team doesn't really need to worry about bot lane. That's why I feel like it was better for them to move past Bang after a while, was because that Teddy can be that consistent carry and still carry games if need to be, if he had the right tool set up for him. You can funnel strats into this guy. This guy's incredible. So the best players I have going into Worlds from SK Telecom T1 are going to be Clid, Faker, and Teddy. I love my boy Khan, but you're not at that level yet. He's still got that thing about him. I do love Khan. I think he's great, but for this, nope. He's okay. He's really good. Don't sleep on him. But for this type of thing, I'm going to just leave him out of this. He'd be like 21st if I were to actually, do a list. But, well, on to the next team. The next team is going to be none other than the boys who just can't finish in bed. And I know that's what she said. And that's Griffin. Griffin, literally, for most part, have star players in 4 of the roles. Kinda. Because you have their top laner, Sword and Doran. I don't think they're really that good in general. Let's not talk about them. They're just really getting carried by their team. If we're being completely honest with ourselves, Tarzan, Chovy, Viper, and Lehans are all superstars. And I think that nobody should be ever considerably sleeping on 4 out of the 5 players on Griffin. Tarzan as was considered the best jungler in the world up until this point. And he still is considered a good jungler by a lot of people, and still considered one of the best junglers in the world. Still right now, people talking about in scrims how he's still playing really well. He's still rank 1 in Challenger at various points during the day, because obviously people win more games than other people. He facilitates everything about Griffin. There wouldn't be a Griffin without Tarzan. Tarzan's one of the best players going into Worlds. Chovy has been incredible. At one point, he had a KDA that was... Man, they said it was a KDA that could have rivaled Faker's in his prime. That was incredible. He was playing out of his mind in Spring Split, but he's also not been playing at that peak level, but he still kept a relative peak level. But people are going to relatively remember his performance against SKT in their finals. I don't think that's going to be really... You shouldn't really pay too much attention to that, because that's just like one performance. He's played well all year, and I feel really bad if I couldn't put him in this. So Chovy gets to make it. He's played great. You also have Viper and Lehans as a bot lane. They've just been a solid carry bot lane. At one point, guys, they were playing Zoe, Morgana bot lanes to win. Game, enough said. They're incredible. They lane well. They carry games. That's exactly what you want out of a bot lane. Their issue is what everybody calls their issue is choking. We'll have to see if that pans out, but you can't not put these players in your best players going into Worlds, because these are obviously really talented and really skilled players that nobody should be ever sleeping on. And if Griffin and Cloud9, G2 might not make it. Just kidding, they're not. But Griffin, sorry, you're not making out of Griffs. Just kidding. These guys are really good. And if G2 and Cloud9 want to get out of this group, they're going to have to overcome these 4 incredible superstars. Alright, Damwon. We've seen Damwon play the play-in stage at this current point in time. Just a quick detour. I'm going to recap each day of the play-in stage actually for you guys. I know some people are probably wondering, hey Nightwing, why aren't you doing that? I am going to do that. I'm gonna recap all 4 days, and then that's when we get to the knockout stage, and then we'll be giving best of 5 predictions. Because I have to see more out of these play-in teams, not Splice or Damwon or Clutch, but I have to see more out of them, and I can't just judge day-to-day performances off best of ones. I'm gonna have to see who makes it out of the group to make an accurate decision for who's gonna win their best of 5s to make it into the knockout stage or group stage or however you guys would like to pronounce it. But let's get back into the players. All right, so you have Damwon. I don't even know if you don't put Showmaker is good. He's a star player in his own right going into the World Championship for 2019. You have Naguri. I think if I were to do a top 20 list, Naguri gets to make it at very high. I would have him at least number 5. He is incredible. And you also have the top laner. It's Naguri. I can't remember. It was Showmaker. Yes, Showmaker. And I have Barrel, Nuclear, Showmaker, Naguri, and who is there mid laner Canyon? Yes, okay. The combination of the Damwon top side are the people that I would choose going into the World Championship as some of the best players. And if you want to rank them however you rank them, that's currently up to you. Top laner is incredible. Naguri, he's just an insane carry. He literally, guys, giving this guy a carry pick, you're most likely going to lose. Then you also have the jungler in terms of, Canyon. He's really good. Showmaker as our mid laner. I feel like he's going to be a really big part of being the thing that maybe overrates Damwon. He's a solid, good mid laner, but I do feel like a brunt of what comes from Damwon comes from that top side in Canyon and Naguri, and he's also someone that does facilitate the team, but I feel like Showmaker is somebody that hasn't really got to that level yet. So for this, I'm going to leave him out. I know a lot of people won't do that. That's okay. That's your list. This is mine. And I'm going to put the top side for Damwon as the best players going into the World Championship for 2019. So to actually... honorable mention is I'm going to actually include Barrel. I feel like Barrel is really good for Damwon, but in terms of how a support could function better for the team to get them that extra edge, I don't feel like Barrel is that, but he does have moments where he is a brilliant player. So I'll give my respect to him. So for the LCK, the best players for me going into the World Championship from the LCK are obviously SKT, and we're doing what's the names of these people? I forget. There's so many players, guys. I forget so many people. I'm sorry. Clid, Faker, Teddy, and that's for SKT. And for Griffin, Tarzan, Chovy, Viper, and Leyhands. And for Damwon, you have Naguri and Canyon. Sorry, Showmaker. I need to see more out of this guy. Like, I know he's good, but that level, you have to be doing effective things for your team. I know he can do it, but there's been some games where it's been like, where's this guy? So, and that's it. And my honorable mention is going to be Barrel. And now, moving on to the West. The West always get disrespected every single time these lists happen, and not on my list. You're not going to see bias here because that's not what I'm about. I'm about giving every player a fair chance, and we've seen these players perform at a constant, great level for so long, and we know where to accurately judge them. Let's start with good old EU. So, most people, as you know me, I'm a G2 esports fan and Cloud9 fan, hashtag G2 Army, hashtag C9 win. As you know, G2 have 5 incredible players all slotting in. Whoa. Let's stop it there. Perks is out of this. I love me some Perks. I love my... Is he German or Danish? I love my Danish AD carry swapping mid laner. Perks is not going to be the player, one of the best players going into the World Championship. I love me some Perks. I thought he vastly improved as an AD carry. I thought he played really well at certain points. But best players going into the Worlds, if he's in the AD carry position, I have to judge him from the AD carry position. He's not going to make it. I love me. You guys know me. I love my team. I love them. I love the org. I love Cloud9 and stuff like that, but I can't be biased, and I can't do that. Wonder makes it in. Obviously, a solid rock top laner that can easily hold off people in their own right. Yankos, that shouldn't even be debatable as to why he's considered in anybody's top list or even jungler list. He's most likely for me. If I did a top 10 list, he would be at least number 8, almost cracking that top 5 spot in some cases. You also have Caps. Depends on which Caps we get. Are we going to get Claps or are we going to get Caps? depends, but I do feel like that G2 are going to exactly play the way they should be playing. They are going to turn it on at the World Championship. No more EU having fun, dicking around, people going, oh, they're just trolling a draft. I'm going to just say this right now. Anybody who says they troll in draft and they're still winning, and people who use that as a bad excuse, the reason why they lose, are terrible fans. I don't do that. Okay, you guys know me, I don't do that. If they troll and they lose, they just lost. It's not because they're trolling that way. It's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you lose when you troll, you lose, you still lose. And it doesn't matter, you trolled and you lost. But Mickey X, as another player, is going in there. Mickey X is mechanically really well. He can play anything, basically. This guy's carrying games on Graga support. Come on, like, he's so good. So, yeah, Perks is not going to make it there. But Wonder, Caps, Yankos, and Mickey X will all be in there for my best players going into Worlds 2019. As G2 has solidified themselves as the #1 favorite, my favorite to win the World Championship. And this team is one of the best Western teams we've seen in a very, very long time. And I really do have high hopes for them. And I really do hope they don't choke. And I really hope, at least if they don't make the finals, at least I hope they can make semifinals. So, yes, let's cheer our Western boys on at the World Championship. All right, next team is going to be #AlwaysFnatic, the boys in yellow. Who am I going to throw in there for the best players going into the World Championship off of Fnatic? All right, so let me do this. I'm going to say Broxa. Broxa's been a consistent rock that can carry games when effectively needed to be. That is something that not a lot of junglers have. I feel like a lot of junglers beside him just kind of just do their job, but I feel like that him and Yankos do it in another way that is just a lot of effectiveness toward how they're going to actually win games for the team. Broxa, Nemesis is really good. He's been popping off, playing really well. Sorry, I didn't take a drink. Oh my god. Sorry. I had to take a drink. Nemesis has been playing absolutely incredible. The way he can play TF mid and the way he can roam effectively with his teams, the way he can somehow dominate lane the way he does and not feed enough to a certain point where he's able to be effective toward his team. Nemesis is who I'm going to be throwing in there. And obviously, it should come to no one that I'm throwing in the Fnatic bot lane. Reckless is a good player. People do kind of give him so much slack for being passive. You know, it's funny people call him passive, yet in 2017 he was literally solo carrying them games. That's not a passive player to me, but whatever. People just like to rewrite history, and that's okay. He's a great laning ADC. His issue is that if he faces somebody better than him, he can get severely outclassed, and that's a problem, but you can't discredit how strong he is individually in general. So I'm going to throw Reckless in there, and Hylissang and Mickey X were literally the two best supports in EU. Hylissang, in some cases, was better than Mickey, and if you want to make that argument, that is perfectly okay. If you want to make that argument, I'm throwing Hylissang in there as well. So everybody except for Bwipo. Bwipo, I'm sorry, my buddy, you went way too many games, bro. You got to hold off on that trigger finger. So, yes, please, Fnatic, do something at the World Championship. I predicted Fnatic to get out of the group. I'm crazy. I'm freaking nuts. But, hey, it happens. So, yeah, let's go off of Fnatic. And who's the third team from EU is Splice. Yikes. Well, we actually see them in the play-in stage. So, to be respectful, how about I do... I mean, they have a really easy group, too. Xerxes, Kabe, and Humanoid. Xerxes has been a consistent carry for them all year long. He's played really well. Kabe, it should be no explanation why he's even considered going in there. We even see Kabe, Humanoid, and Xerxes play really, really well. And Humanoid's been a quiet sleeper EU mid laner that everybody's been talking about for a while, and it should be no surprise he even comes in there. So, those are my three. And to recap, the players going from EU as the best players, in my own personal opinion, to go into the World Championship: G2, everybody except for Perks; Fnatic, everybody except for Bwipo; and in Splice, everybody except for Vizicachi and Norscaran. Sorry, you guys. You guys just are a little bit not at that level, but it's okay. Now it's on to the For Fun region in North America. Let's do it. Let's go with the #1 seed, which is Team Liquid. So, yes, everybody's North American superstars. You have an EU superstar in Jensen. Oh, this team has so much history. Let's go. Who is not going to make it there for me? I'm going to do this, and people are going to call me absolutely crazy. Impact is going to make it in there. Impact's played really well all year long. He's really came into his own form, playing carry, top laners. He's been an effective reason why TL had their success at MSI. He's been playing really well this split long. Xmithie is the player not making it in. Jensen, I mean, that should just be an obvious you're making it in there. You have Double Lift and Core JJ. You have the best bot lane from North America going in. Core JJ has been a severe rock, severe playmaker, everything TL needed last year, and this year they're going to need that in order to get out of the group. Double Lift has vastly improved since, last year out of not making out of groups. He finally broke that curse of not making groups this year. So at Worlds, if he already broke the curse, kinda, let's see him break it officially for good. He's done with it, and he's played really well. I hope he actually uses his flash. For the life of God, buddy, please use your flash. And Jensen, obviously, is a superstar mid laner out of North America. Obviously, he's seen him lane really well. Effectively, now considered the best mid laner in North America. People want to say Bjergsen. That's because you have Bjergsen's cock all the way down your throat. And I'm not going to listen to anything you have to say because you're not actually watching games. You're just watching Pedigree and obviously only watching videos of Pedigree, and you're just not watching the games anymore. People who are saying Bjergsen is better when he's not even been at the World Championship, you're absolutely out of your mind. I don't care what you have to say. You are just a troll. Please stop. And also, that's it. Everybody except for Xmithie. I feel like Xmithie is good, but being consistently good is okay to a certain point. That is bare minimum okay. You cannot be bare minimum okay here. That's why do you think people like Visit Chachi didn't make it here? You can't be bare minimum okay. It does not work. That's why it does not work. You cannot be best player in the world and be bare minimum. Those two things don't make sense. And so everybody from TL except for Xmithie goes, they're all playing out of their minds, and I think that's going to be a good batch of players heading into Worlds 2019 as some of the best in their roles. Cloud9, hashtag C9 win. Who am I picking out of my team, Cloud9? Whoo! Wow! Let's start with Licorice. We know he's been incredibly playing well for C9. He can win games if he needs to. Effectively, last year, he was, holding his own against international top laners in his first year at Worlds. But, buddy, you're in. Svenskeren, nobody should be surprised by that. Svenskeren is making it. Can he be a consistent carry for the team? He's done it. He's done it for pretty much most of the year, so I don't see why he can't do it right now. You also have Niski. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, you can't make it, bro, dude. And Sneaky can't make it, and neither can Zazel. If we're talking about best players going into the Worlds from Cloud9, it's Licorice and Svenskeren. Niski has the ability to do it, but I need to see it more consistently. I need to see a consistent lineup of track record of games where he consistently carries the game no matter what. Sorry, Niski. You guys know me. I'm not biased here. I'm giving credit where credit is due. Licorice and Svenskeren are their best players. Zazel has really not had the best year. It's been super hot and cold, but I would say he's my underrated pick on the team going into Worlds. People are going to sleep on him. I would give Zazel some credit. I don't know effectively who they're going to run for Deathly and Sneaky. That you can run 7-man rosters for Sneaky and Deathly because of how the Riot changed the rules, but none of them, I just can't put them there. I just can't, obviously. So yes, everybody on Cloud9 who is making it is Licorice and Svenskeren. And the last team, obviously, is the least but not the forgotten and the best of the West. No, Clutch is not making it. Are you kidding me? Nobody on Clutch is getting in there. Have you seen? This is the reason why I waited to do this video, because I was actually going to put Huni. I'll probably throw Huni in there. We'll throw Huni in there, whatever. But everybody else besides Huni on Clutch has been playing, what the heck? One health Barons? Come on, Clutch. Everybody out. Cody Sutton. Alright, well, hold on. Cody Sutton and Huni get to be in. Everybody else out. So, yeah, Cody Sutton, even from when I was watching him in playing stage, he played himself pretty fine, But you can't play pretty fine at Worlds. Psych! Cody Sutton's getting in. You guys thought I would actually put Cody Sutton in this? Did you actually think I'm putting Huni in this? Hell no! Nobody from Clutch is making it in. I probably triggered like 40 people. Oh my god. Nobody from Clutch is... I'm being totally serious. Nobody from Clutch is making it in. Did you see that Unicorns of Love game? Did you see that Mammoth game? They gave up a 1 health Baron. Do that against SKT, that game is over. Nobody from Clutch is making it. Nobody. Get it? I said that. I don't care what people's... Tanner time, shut up. I don't care about Tanner time. How about Tanner needs to learn how to CS well and play lane effectively against these carry mid laners. He lost lane to Unicorns of Love's mid laner. Not making it in. But he was going to make it anyway. I decided to just point that out there. Nobody from Clutch is making it in at all. So that is my group of the best players going into the 2019 World Championship. From North America, I'll recap it just like I did with the other regions. From Liquid, you have everybody except for Xmithy, and from Cloud9, you have Licorice and Svenskeren. And as an honorable mention, I actually threw in Zeyzal. I'm sorry, I can't put Sneaky and Nisqy and Perks in there because it's just not fair. They just have not. Perks has shown that stuff, but even that's not good enough. And I put so many good players in here, so you have to know no biasness at all from me. All right, guys. See you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, and Way of Life Esports is signing out. Let me know who you think are the best players going into the World Championship. If you want to turn it into a list, go ahead and turn it into a list and tell me why you think these players are really good. But these are my group of best players going into Worlds 2019, and I feel like these players will actually surprise everybody. But I could be wrong. It doesn't matter. These are best of ones, and then going into the knockout stage, it shouldn't matter either because these are best of ones anyway. And yes, the knockout stage performance matters too because you're obviously ranking these guys really, really high. That's why I chose not to really rank them because there's so many different like times as a reason why that kind of just doesn't work for this type of game. But that's why I chose to do it in a group setting, which I feel like is going to be a lot better for you guys. See you guys later. Bye. Have a good day. And I'm the Nightwing, and I'm signing out. Peace. Have a good day, guys. Let me know who is your best players going into Worlds 2019.
Hi there, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.